Hello, this is the lecture number 3 for the chapter Continuity and Differentiability of class 12th, and in the previous lectures we are discussing the exercise 5.1 also, and we have discussed up to question number 16. To have a good understanding of the remaining questions, you must see that lectures at least once. Now we are taking the question number 17, and it is given that this function fx is equal to ax plus 1 if x is less than equal to 3, and this function is equal to bx plus 3 if x is greater than 3, and it is given that this function is continuous at x equal to 3. It is given that it is continuous, and you have to find the relationship between a and b. Now, because it is given that this function is continuous at 3, therefore the value of the function at 3 is equal to the right hand limit at 3. Right hand limit is denoted by this positive sign and is equal to left hand limit, and it is denoted by this negative sign. So because it is continuous at x equal to 3, so the value of the function at 3 is equal to right hand limit at 3 is equal to left hand limit at 3. Now f3 means equal to 3. So we will use this function. Your function will use, and in place of x you replace 3 in this. So it will be 3a plus 1. This is the value of f3. Now to solve the right hand limit for 3, we let x is equal to 3 plus x. And for left hand limit, we let x is equal to 3 minus h. We always let a plus h for the right hand limit at a and a minus h for the left hand limit at a. So we right hand limit at 3, so we let x is equal to 3 plus h, and for left hand limit we let x is equal to 3 minus h, and the limit will h goes to 0 and h goes to 0. Now 3 plus h means greater than 3. For the greater than 3 we'll use this function. This function is for greater than 3. So replace x by 3 plus h here. So be 3 plus h plus 3, and 3 minus h means less than 3. So we'll use this function, less than 3, 3 minus h. So use this function, in place of x replace 3 minus h plus 1. So now take the limit, h goes to 0, this will become equal to 0. So it becomes 3b plus 3, h goes to 0, this h goes to 0, it becomes 3a plus 1. So it comes out to be 3a plus 1 is equal to 3b plus 3 is equal to 3a plus 1. Now you can use the first two relation, that is 3a minus 3b is equal to 3 minus 1, which is equal to 3a minus 3b, which is equal to 2. This is the relationship between the a and b when the function is continuous at x equal to 3. I am repeating it again. When the function is continuous at x is equal to 3, then the value of the function at 3, right hand limit at 3 is equal to left hand limit at 3. So by doing this, we have obtained the relationship between a and b, which comes out to be a minus b is equal to 2 by 3. Now in question number 18, it is given that again that this function fx is equal to lambda x square minus 2x if x is less than equal to 0, and it equal to 4x plus 1 if x is greater than 0, and it is given that in the first part of this question number 18 that this is continuous at x is equal to 0, and you have to find the value of lambda. Now because this function is continuous, so therefore the value of the function at 0 is equal to right hand limit at 0 will be equal to left hand limit at 0, because this is given as continuous. Now the f0 means equal to 0, so we'll use this function. So f0 will become lambda 0 square minus 2 into 0, this. Now right hand limit at 0 will be 0 plus h, we let x equal to 0 plus h. In left hand limit for 0 we let x equal to 0 minus h. Now 0 minus h will be less than 0, we'll use this function. 0 plus h is greater than 0, we'll use this function. So by taking the limits, this comes out to be this is 0, the value of the function at 0, 0 plus h is greater than 0, so we'll use this function. So in place of x put 0 plus h, and 0 minus h will use this function. In place of x you use 0 minus h. So 0 minus h whole square, 2 into 0 plus h. Now take the limit, this comes out to be 0, this comes out to be 0. So this function comes out to be 0. Take h goes to 0, this comes out to be 1. and this is 0. But what are seeing, we are seeing it here, that 0 is equal to 1 is equal to 0, which is not possible. So it means, what does it denotes? That is, there is for no value of lambda, the fx is continuous at x is equal to 0. Because it is given that the function is continuous at 0, so you have to find the value of lambda. But by putting the condition of continuity, we are getting as 0 is equal to 1 is equal to 0, which is not possible. So there is no value of lambda for which the function fx is continuous at x is equal to 0. Similarly, with the second part of this question number 18 also, in that it is given that it is continuous at x is equal to 1. You have to find the value of lambda. It is given that it continues at 1. Again, using the same condition, that because it is continuous at x equal to 1, so the value of function at x equal to 1 is equal to right hand limit at 1 is equal to left hand limit at 1. Now it is given that you have to find the value of the function at 1. So f1 means greater than 0. f1 means greater than 0. So we'll use this function. So 4 into 1 plus 1. So this comes out to be this, 4 into 1 plus 1. Now right hand limit, x goes to 1 positive. We let x equal to 1 plus h. So 1 plus h means again greater than 1 or greater than 0. So 1 plus h is again greater than 0. So we'll use this function. In place of x, you replace 1 plus h. This 4 into 1 plus h plus 1. Again, see it very carefully. 1 minus h is less than 1, but it will be greater than 0. It will be greater than 0. So again, we'll use this function. So in all the three parts, either it will be f1 or 1 plus h or 1 minus h. These all are greater than 0. So it is right hand limit, left hand limit also. 1 minus h, replace x by 1 minus h here. And take h equal to 0. This comes out to be 4 plus 1. So 5. The right hand limit is also 5 and the value of the function is also 5. So 5 is equal to 5 is equal to 5. But we are not getting the value of lambda. It means that the function is continuous for all values of lambda at x equal to 1. The value for lambda for which x continues 1 can be any value because you are not getting anywhere lambda. All these are 5. So it means the function is continuous at all values of lambda. Similarly, you can prove for x is equal to minus 1. It is you have to find the value of lambda and the function is continuous at x equal to minus 1. Again, we use the same condition as above. F minus 1, the value of the function at minus 1, the right hand limit at minus 1, the left hand limit at minus 1, they will be equal to each other. F minus 1 means less than 0. So we'll use this function. In place of x, replace minus 1, minus 1. Again, left hand limit or rather right hand limit at minus 1 plus h, it will again be less than 0. Again less than 0. 1 minus 1 plus h. Listen very carefully. Minus 1 plus h will be less than 0. So we'll use this function. Lambda x square minus 2x. Again minus 1 plus h whole square minus 2 minus 1 plus h. Minus 1 minus h. It is obviously it will be less than 0. Less than minus 1 means less than 0. So it will be again we'll use again this function this. So by doing so we are getting as 3 lambda, 3 lambda, 3 lambda. It means the function is continuous for again at x equal to minus 1 for all values of lambda. Therefore, we can say that if it is continuous at x equal to minus 1, it is continuous for all values of lambda. So this is the condition for the continuity of the function. Continuity of the function. It is given that it is continuous, so we can put them equal to each other. Now, similarly in question number 24, you have to find whether the function is continuous or not at x equal to 0. 5.1. Question number, this is 24. It is given that it is equal to x square sine 1 upon x if x is not equal to 0 and equal to 0 if x is equal to 0, and you have to find whether it is continuous at x equal to 0 or not. You have to check the continuity. So f0 means equal to 0. So f0 is equal to 0, it is given. Now find the right hand limit. तो right hand limit we write at 0 positive, we let x is equal to 0 plus h, and 0 plus h is not equal to 0, so we'll use this function x square sine 1 upon x. So replace x by 0 plus h, so 0 plus h whole square 1 upon 0 plus h here. Now if we take the limit x goes to 0, now this term will become 0, and the value of sine is always a finite value. The value of sine have always a finite value, whatever will be the angle. Sine 1 upon 0 plus h will always be finite for any value of h. So therefore this will be a finite value. This is a main step. 0 into finite value is equal to 0. So the right hand limit is 0 here. Similarly, in the left hand limit, x goes to 0 negative, we'll let x is equal to 0 minus h. 0 minus h is again not equal to 0. We'll use this function, that is 0 minus h whole square sine 1 upon 0 minus h. This is 0 minus h here. Again, if we take the limit h goes to 0, this term will be 0 and the value of this will be finite. This will be finite. Again, 0 into finite value will be equal to 0. So the value of the function at 0, right hand limit at 0 and the left hand limit of 0 all are equal to each other. So we write like that, f0, right hand limit at 0, left hand limit is 0, they all are equal to 0. So we can say that this function is continuous at x is equal to 0. So this is the method to find the quantity of a function, or to check the continuity of function, or to find the value of the function, value of any unknown variable when the function is continuous. Okay, we'll continue in the next lecture. Thank you.